What up, everybody? It's your boy Jay Hems. I'm back again with another video. Today, I'll be reacting to Letdown, the most overlooked fact of the GOAT debate. So let's go right into the videos. Shout out to Danger Productions.
Reed, and that's it. Clock will tick. Minnesota is going to win this series and knock off the Lakers, the 3 seed, 4 games to 1.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
The 2025 season for the Los Angeles Lakers was so unbelievable that it played like a Shakespearean drama, one filled with ups and downs, villains and heroes, and an ending that was both shocking and not shocking at all. But to really understand the Lakers season, we have to rewind a bit to February 2nd, 2025.
A date which will live in infamy.
That's the day the Lakers pulled off one of the greatest heists in modern sports history, as they acquired Luka Doncic for 7 first-round draft picks. Wait, no, that's not right. For Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, and 4 first-round draft picks. Actually, that's not it either. For Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and 1 first-round draft pick?
You serious?
Look, I'm still struggling to understand it myself. Best as we can tell,
No, yeah, that trade was insane. Yeah, I still can't believe that happened either. Lakers instantly won that trade. They didn't have to win a championship. The thing is, they won that trade because the Mavericks traded Anthony Davis after that. Like, they automatically won the trade after that. Anthony Davis is not even the Mavericks now. So, it don't even matter. The Lakers instantly won that trade.
You serious?
Look, I'm still struggling to understand it myself. Best as we can tell, the Mavs traded Luka because he was, well, a little fat, and he drank too much beer. You know, basically the same reasons Babe Ruth was traded to the Yankees in 1920, and we all know how that one turned out. Don't get me wrong, when healthy, Anthony Davis is still a great player. But that caveat, when healthy, applies more to AD than just about any other player in NBA history. You're talking about a 32-year-old who's missed 135 games over the past 5 years, who was injured at the time of the trade, and in his very first game with the Mavs got injured again. Heck, this Lakers' injury problem was so bad that it turned out to be contagious. Meanwhile, the player that Dallas traded away was a 25-year-old, once-in-a-generation superstar who literally just led the team to the NBA Finals the prior season.
Wait, hold up. He absolutely could go bear. He could go bear. But yet again, that is crazy though. You traded your franchise player right after he led you to the finals. That's insane.
Meanwhile, the player that Dallas traded away was a 25-year-old, once-in-a-generation superstar who literally just led the team to the NBA Finals the prior season. Sure, he doesn't play a lick of defense, but he also nearly averages a 30-point triple-double. And now we're adding that guy to LeBron James? Pairing 2 of the best playmakers in NBA history? And let's not forget Austin Reeves, who's merely the 3rd option on the Lakers, but on just about any other team would average 25, 6, and 6. Jesus, Nico, you really couldn't get them to throw Reeves into the trade? Needless to say, the expectations were sky high for LA following the trade. And it didn't take long for their promise to become reality, as a quick 8-game win streak vaulted them up the standings before they ultimately settled into the 3rd seed in the Western Conference. And that seemed to be a fortuitous position, as it allowed them to avoid the side of the West bracket that included the 68-win Thunder, Nikola Jokic's Nuggets, and the scorching hot Clippers. That said, their first-round opponent, the Minnesota Timberwolves, were no slouch. But the Wolves were coming off a somewhat disappointing regular season. Vegas installed the Lakers as 2-1 favorites to win the series, and seemingly every expert agreed that LA would have no problem advancing to the 2nd round of the playoffs.
I think the Lakers win. I actually have them winning in 5.
I think the Lakers are going to beat them in 5.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So what you think about that Lakers
Lakers in 5.
But, as they say, games aren't won on paper. And when they did play the games, the Lakers did not win in 5.
Not 5, not 6, not 7.
As a matter of fact, it was the Wolves who won in 5, pulling off the major upset. Now, I'm not going to delve into the X's and O's of this series, I'll leave that to the basketball nerds like Zach Lowe and Ryan Russillo and whoever this guy is. No, seriously, who the f*** is this guy? That said,
I got you. His name is Jason. What's his last name? Timpf? I know his last name is spelled Timpf, so I guess that's Timpf. Yeah, that's his last name. That's who he is. But the Lakers, I mean, yes, it was called an upset technically, but the Lakers had like a game on the Minnesota Timberwolves that year, so it wasn't like that far off. But the narrator is right. That season did kind of look like as a disappointment for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but it was very simple how the Lakers lost that series. Number one, since you traded AD, yes, you got Luka. Now you got no big men. AD when he was on the Lakers asked for a center. Now you traded AD, so you got no big man. You really got no big man. And the thing about Minnesota, they was better defensively and they had big men. For example, let me go further. Wait, let me show y'all.
that said, if you ask,
Like right here, look at this. Look at the court right now for the Lakers. Right now, this is LeBron, Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Rui Hachimura. Yes, I know this is late game scenario. Minnesota don't have Rudy Gobert out there either. Because Rudy Gobert, they don't want them fouling Rudy Gobert. He goes to the free throw line. But that pretty much was most of their lineup during that series, though, the Lakers. They had no big men on the court. They had Jackson Hayes and they barely played Jackson Hayes. And Jackson Hayes was technically the only big man on the team they was willing to play, and they barely played him. So pretty much who's the center on the court, LeBron or Rui? That pretty much was the center on the court. And the thing is with the Lakers, like I said, I know they got LeBron, they got Luka, Austin Reeves. LeBron by far for the Lakers was the best defender of that series. But the thing is, you had no big men. So you really asking Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, or whoever on the court to guard. Because once the players get past them, it's an easy layup or a dunk every time. And that pretty much was that Minnesota series. Lakers couldn't get a rebound, and everybody was getting past Reeves and Luka. Now, to be fair, this one Luka was bigger, so of course his defense wasn't that great. And Reeves, Austin Reeves, he's not a great defender at all. I will give Austin Reeves credit though. He at least tries. Austin Reeves definitely tries. You can tell he gives effort on defense, but he's just still not a good defender. He definitely tries though. He's just not a good defender. LeBron always been a good defender. I don't care what anybody says. Some people try to talk about LeBron not that good defensively. LeBron always been a great defender. But yeah, it was very simple how they lost that series though. The Lakers, offensively, they was good. Defensively, they wasn't that good. And they had no big man. It was very simple why they lost that series. It was very simple.
this guy is. No, seriously, who the f*** is this guy? That said, if you ask me, the Lakers' loss comes down to 2 words. LeBron James. To be honest, neither LeBron nor Luka played particularly well in the series. But following a season-long trend, the Lakers seemed to play some of their worst basketball when LeBron James was on the floor. Against the Wolves, this was especially the case in the fourth quarter. In his 54 fourth-quarter minutes, LeBron hit just 9 of 27 shots, and the Lakers were outscored by a whopping 40 points.
That's terrible.
Wait, oh my gosh. No, wait. No, he's not taking this aspect. No, he's not. No, he's not. The Lakers did not lose that series because of LeBron, and no, it wasn't Luka's fault. It was Austin Reeves. Minnesota was the better defensive team. I don't care who you playing. You're not winning a series if your team can't defend and you can't grab a rebound. Lakers literally played no big men. They literally played no big men. This ain't LeBron's fault. This ain't Austin Reeves' fault. This ain't Luka's fault. The Minnesota Timberwolves was just a bad matchup. It was just a bad matchup. I think Rudy Gobert had a game he had 20 and 20. You let Rudy Gobert get 20 or 20 on you. And that's the result of having no big man. Oh my gosh.
Shots, and the Lakers were outscored by a whopping 40 points.
That's terrible.
Now cue the LeBron sycophants who will say,
What did you expect? He's 40 years old.
oh, I don't know. Maybe I expected him to be as good as you told me he was. I mean, we've been bombarded all season about how LeBron was still a top 10 player, that he's
Okay, now let me explain that. Yes, LeBron is great. He still is great. But we're talking about a 40-year-old. Most guys in the NBA most players don't even be in the NBA at 40. Most of them retired before they 40. No, let's be realistic. You really expect LeBron James at 40 years old to carry a team? To be honest, LeBron might be in the GOAT. At this point in 2025, and even now, at this point in his career, Luka Doncic is much better than him at basketball. And that's okay. He's 40. Luka should be the best player on the team. Oh my gosh. Yes, we're talking about in terms of being a 40-year-old. LeBron is the greatest 40-year-old ever. No one has ever seen nobody great as LeBron at 40 years old. No one. Come on, man. We got to have some common sense here. Nobody should expect a 40-year-old to lead the team and take over. And like I said before, LeBron was the best defender that series. And like I said earlier, he kind of had to be the best defender by default. He was the center.
I mean, we've been bombarded all season about how LeBron was still a top 10 player, that he's the greatest 40-year-old to ever play, that he's the oldest player to record a triple-double, the oldest to ever win Player of the Month, the oldest to ever flop like he got shot by a sniper. And now we can add one more to the list. The oldest player to ever shit the bed in the playoffs. And whether you're a LeBron stan or a LeBron hater, it's an undeniable truth that the end of this season for the Lakers was a major disappointment. And let me be clear.
Lakers losing to the Timberwolves have nothing to do with LeBron. It had nothing to do with none of the good players either. They couldn't rebound, and they wasn't great defending Minnesota at all. This has nothing to do with LeBron, Luka, and Reeves. That was just a bad matchup. You are asking non-defenders to play defense, and you have no big men. You was bound to lose. Minnesota actually defended, and they got big men.
That the end of this season for the Lakers was a major disappointment. And let me be clear what I mean by that. I don't mean disappointment in the colloquial sense. I mean, sure, we're all disappointed when our favorite team loses its last game of the season, whether that's in the first round or the last. No, what I mean by disappointment is the classic dictionary definition of the term, with a focus on these words: failure to meet expectations. That's exactly what the Lakers did. Remember, they were 2-1 favorites to beat the Wolves, and going into the playoffs, they had the 4th best title odds of any team in the entire league. Yet here they are, after one round, watching the rest of the playoffs from their couch. And meanwhile, the pundits are left scratching their heads trying to find excuses for another LeBron letdown. But here's the more interesting point that you won't hear from the mainstream sports media. These late-season letdowns by LeBron are actually not that uncommon. I mean, sure, we know about the disastrous 2011 finals against the Mavs. That was such a catastrophic failure that even the shills on Clutch Sports' payroll couldn't sweep it under the rug. But believe it or not, there have actually been 5 times that LeBron has lost a playoff series as a favorite. And in each of those cases, his team was not just a favorite, but a substantial favorite.
Okay, we're going to go through this. Now, 2011, I'll give the narrator that. He was bad. He was bad, I give him that. This is going to get interesting. 2009 against Orlando. 2010 against Boston, 2021 against Phoenix. I think 2009 versus Orlando, that's the series when he averaged 38 and they still lost the series. I don't know where you could do more than that. 2010 against Boston. You're losing a Boston Big Three. Come on. 2021 loss of Phoenix. I think that's the series when AD got hurt. And 2025, yeah, come on. And we just discussed the 2025 loss to Minnesota. Yeah, let's see what happens. Let's see what he talk about.
And peppered within those 5 occasions are also 2 seasons in which LeBron's team went into the year as a top 5 title contender, yet failed to make the playoffs entirely. By my count, that's a total of 7 seasons in which LeBron's team finished well below expectations. 7 seasons that ended.
He get hurt 2019? Like, come on, yo. 2019 season when LeBron got hurt on Christmas. The Lakers was 4th in the West. 2019, the Lakers, he got hurt. He got hurt. Come on. And that's when he first joined the Lakers. This without AD. That's when the Lakers still had the youngins on the team. And they was hoping. The 22 Lakers wasn't a good team. But yet again, that's when the Lakers had LeBron, AD, Russ, and I think they had like older Melo. AD only played 40 games. LeBron only played 56. And the team wasn't that talented. And I don't think that team was good on defense either. Here we go. Here we go.
In which LeBron's team finished well below expectations. 7 seasons that ended in a huge letdown. And even in a 22-year career, that's a lot. It means 1 in every 3 seasons ending in epic disaster. Now, is LeBron James 100% responsible for all of these failures? Of course not. But as the team leader, he gets the lion's share of the praise when things go right. So it's only appropriate that he should get a fair share of the blame when things go wrong. Now, given that LeBron's career has lasted so long, many of you may not remember a lot of the letdowns on this list, so it's probably a good idea to do a quick recap to refresh your memories. The first of LeBron's letdowns came in 2009, when his Cleveland Cavaliers lost to Dwight Howard's Orlando Magic in the Eastern Conference Finals. Of LeBron's 7 letdowns, this is the one where he deserves the least culpability, because overall, he played pretty well in this series, even hitting a buzzer beater to win Game 2. But it's also a series that LeBron's team undeniably should have won. After all, they had secured home court advantage throughout the playoffs after winning 66 games that year, and Orlando was without its second-best player, All-Star Jameer Nelson. While LeBron generally put up good numbers in the series, he also struggled down the stretch of a few of the games. In the fourth quarter and overtime of the final 3 losses, LeBron shot just 38% from the field, 25% from beyond the arc, and 65% from the line. This to go along with 9 turnovers. If he had played just a little bit better at the end of those games, perhaps the Cavs advance, and we wind up with a dream matchup between LeBron and Kobe in the finals. And heck, maybe LeBron doesn't go to Miami to start the super team era, and Cleveland becomes the next dynasty, and the history of basketball for the last decade and a half is completely rewritten. But alas, it wasn't to be. As in LeBron's own words,
I fucked up one time in 09 and didn't beat Orlando.
Preach, brother. Preach. But as
You talking about in terms of not winning? He didn't play bad that series. Come on, LeBron. In that series when he lost to Orlando, he averaged 39, 8, and 8. I don't know what more he can do than that. What more do you want him to do? He shot 49% from the field. Now, Dwight that series? Now, Dwight Howard was hooping. I ain't gonna lie. Dwight was hooping. Dwight Howard was a dog in his prime. He averaged 26, 13, and he shot 65% from the field. Yeah, Dwight Howard was hooping that series. They couldn't guard him at all. Yeah, but come on. That's not on LeBron. 2009 was definitely not on LeBron.
Brother, preach. But as I said, the failure in 09 was actually the mildest of LeBron's season-ending letdowns. Letdown number 2 came the very next season, as LeBron's Cavs once again had home court advantage throughout the playoffs. This time, in the second round, they would face the Boston Celtics, an aging team that started the year fast but played just 500 ball the last 54 games of the regular season. The two teams would split the first 4 games of the series, with the critical Game 5 to be played in Cleveland. This was the perfect opportunity for LeBron James to showcase why he was the league's back-to-back reigning MVP. And he certainly gave us a performance for the ages, just not in the way you'd expect. James scored just 15 points on 3 of 14 shooting from the field, as the Cavs would get clobbered in their own building by 32 points. In fact, LeBron's play was so apathetic that the media, the fans, and the team's owner would accuse him of quitting on his team. Needless to say, the series loss, punctuated by that Game 5 debacle.
That Game 5 was bad. I mean, to be honest, as a team, they shot 41% from the field and 33% from 3. While that same game, Boston shot 55% from the field and 53% from the 3. Yeah, you're going to lose. You're going to lose that game. But when the Cavaliers owner was at Dan Gilbert at the time, when he said LeBron quit, yeah, come on, you can't do that to your best player. You can't say, during a playoff game, you can't say your best player quit. You can't do that. You just can't do that. I'm not even saying that in regards to LeBron. I'm talking about in general, any superstar, when they played bad in the playoff game. You just can't say that about your superstar. You can't say that. You can't say that.
Needless to say, the series loss, punctuated by that Game 5 debacle, would ultimately go down as a shameful moment in Cleveland sports history. Except for Delonte West, who seemed oddly upbeat after the series, but I digress. Letdown number 3 takes us to Miami, where in 2011 LeBron joined fellow league stars Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh to form a super team. In their first year together, the star trio made it all the way to the NBA Finals, where they would face an aging Dallas Mavericks team, led by Dirk Nowitzki. The Heat jumped out to a 2-1 series advantage and had a 9-point lead in the fourth quarter of Game 4, but they epically coughed up the game and the series. The main reason for the defeat? LeBron James, who averaged less than 18 points in the series.
Now, 2011, I'll give him 2011. He was bad 2011. To be honest, out of all the alleged letdowns he say, 2011, in my opinion, was LeBron only letdown for real. That's my personal opinion. 2011 was LeBron only letdown for real. That's my opinion. No, he was bad. They should have definitely won 2011. Don't get me wrong, the 2011 Dallas Mavericks was sweet. That playoff run, they beat the Trailblazers. They swept Kobe, and that's after Kobe and the Lakers went back-to-back. That was absolutely insane. I still can't believe that happened. And they beat OKC Big Three when it was Durant, Russ, and James Harden. They was young, but they still were very, very talented. But yeah, Miami, he definitely should have won that series. Miami was definitely the better roster. Yeah, LeBron was just bad that series. I give him 2011. LeBron was bad. I give him that one.
LeBron James, who averaged less than 18 points in the series, including an 8-point dud in that pivotal Game 4. Not only was LeBron outplayed in the series by his teammates, Wade and Bosh, but he was also outplayed by the Mavs role player, Jason Terry.
Seriously?
In fact, LeBron's performance was so embarrassingly bad, even his biggest acolytes say this.
The 2011 finals is, and I will admit this, it is a meltdown. It is a giant blemish on the resume.
Of course, they'll also have you believe that this was the last bad moment of LeBron's entire career.
That was letdown. Letdown. That was the last letdown. Well, that was his only letdown.
But wait, there's more.
On to meltdown number 4. And for this one, we jump to the 2018-19 season, LeBron's first as a Laker. That year, LeBron joined an upstart Laker team flush with young talent, like Brandon Ingram, Josh Hart, Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo Ball, Alex Caruso, Ivica Zubac. Jesus Christ, this team was loaded. They were a team that had won 35 games the prior season, and now they were adding LeBron James, along with Rajon Rondo and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope.
Oh, that team was loaded. They were nice before LeBron got hurt. They was the 4th seed in the West. Yeah, like young talent-wise, that roster was stacked.
Now they were adding LeBron James, along with Rajon Rondo and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. You would think with all that talent, and a player like LeBron who could be the proverbial tide to rise all ships, the Lakers could add another 20 wins to the win column. Which explains why the Lakers had the 4th best title odds of any team heading into the regular season. So how many additional wins did LeBron add to the team? 2, for a grand total of 37 wins.
You cannot be serious!
I'm quite serious, John. Although to be fair, LeBron did miss a third of the season to injury. But even in the 2/3 of the games he played, the Lakers were barely a 500 team. So no matter how you slice it, the season was an abject failure. Now we move to letdown number.
Look, he went through 2019 real quick, yeah, because let me add more context to that. Lakers were the 4th seed before LeBron got hurt on Christmas. LeBron missed a third of the season. He said when LeBron came back, the Lakers was pretty much a 500 team. But in them games LeBron played, he averaged 27, 8 or 9 rebounds, 8 assists, and he shot 51% from the field. That's a great season. Now we know LeBron missed games, but the young talent we talked about, they missed a lot of games too. Lonzo only played 47 games. Brandon Ingram only played 52 games. Rondo only played 46 games. Alex Caruso only played 25 games. Zubac only played 33 games. Yes, the team was young and talented, but they wasn't even on the court. Like, that team was barely on the court. Like, come on. 2019 is not a letdown. You can't do nothing when pretty much half the team and half your talent on the team is hurt. You can't do nothing with that. I bet you people gonna say, well, I say that. Look at all the excuses you give him. That's not an excuse. Getting hurt is out of your control. That's not an excuse. That's out of your control. Basketball is a team sport. You are winning nothing in basketball without having a great team. You need to have a great team, and you need that team to be healthy to win championships. Literally, that's every single person in basketball. Not one player in NBA history has ever carried a team to a championship. We saw guys carry a team to the finals. We have never saw anybody in NBA history carry a team to a championship. Never. You need a great team to win a championship. You need a great team, and you need the great players available. Literally, every championship, it comes down to, okay, who's the better team and who's the most healthy? You can have all the talent in the world. If everybody hurt, you can't do nothing with that. You can't do nothing. Yeah, he went through 2019 real quick. That was not a letdown. That was not a letdown at all, 2019. Everybody and their mama on that team was hurt.
You slice it, the season was an abject failure. Now we move to letdown number 5. And this one comes fresh off the heels of the Lakers' 2020 championship in the bubble. You know, the championship that was supposedly the hardest ever because the players were forced to spend 2 months in a 5-star resort with nothing to do but shoot hoops, play video games, get massages, go fishing, hang out at the pool, hit the greens, and hit the, greens. And all this without having their wife and kids around. So, basically every guy's dream vacation. So as the defending champs, what did the Lakers do for an encore? How about a first-round playoff exit at the hands of the Phoenix Suns? This, despite going into the playoffs as the betting favorites to win the West, and nearly a 2-1 favorite to beat the inexperienced Suns in round 1. Those odds jumped exponentially after the Lakers won 2 of the first 3 games in the series. But behind a subpar performance from LeBron James, the Lakers would go on to lose the next 3 games, and they would find themselves taking an unexpected early trip to Cancun. Of course, LeBron fans would tell you that the sole reason the Lakers were defeated was because of an injury that kept Anthony Davis out of the final 2 games. Although that wasn't exactly the prevailing sentiment at the time.
Well, what if Anthony Davis doesn't return for Game 6 at the Staples Center?
The Lakers will win either Game 5 or Game 6.
I don't think they need Anthony Davis to beat the Suns.
We know the Lakers can get through this series with just LeBron James.
Who embraces pressure? LeBron James.
Okay, number one, I didn't give crap what any of them analysts said. That plays a big factor when your dominant big man is out for a series or the last 2 games of the series. We have to remember, y'all, that Phoenix Suns team went to the finals. They wasn't a scrub. AD was hooping that series too before he got hurt. Like I said earlier, if you're gonna win a championship, you're gonna need your great players healthy, and you need a great team. I thought Lakers were going to beat Phoenix too, but I didn't expect AD to miss the last 2 games either. He got hurt. Now, if AD was healthy, Lakers for sure was beating Phoenix. AD getting hurt. So you telling me you losing your best rebounder and the best defender on the team. You're going to see a difference. You're going to see a difference.
With just LeBron James.
Who embraces pressure? LeBron James. The Lakers are going to win Game 5 and 6 and Phoenix carry long.
Yikes. Regardless of spin, what cannot be denied is that the Lakers' disappointing finish in 2021 only emboldened critics who viewed their bubble championship as a fluke.
It's going to have a big asterisk on the bottom, and it's going to say COVID championship.
It's going to have big nothing.
Okay.
And that brings us to letdown number 6.
People only calling that bubble championship fake and all of that because LeBron won. I promise you, if Jimmy Butler beat LeBron and Anthony Davis in the bubble, and Jimmy Butler got a ring, he beat LeBron and Anthony Davis, nobody putting an asterisk next to Jimmy Butler. Nobody is. That's going to actually help Jimmy Butler's legacy. Nobody going to say, oh, no, he was in the bubble. That's an asterisk. No, it's only an asterisk because LeBron won. I'm telling y'all, that's the only reason why it's an asterisk. Anybody else would have won. Jimmy Butler, Jokic, Kawhi. Oh, it would have helped their legacy, but since it's LeBron, that one don't count. That one don't count. Come on, y'all.
And it's going to say COVID championship.
It's going to have big nothing.
Okay.
To be honest, I don't care if you don't think LeBron the GOAT or not. I think he's the GOAT. But to be honest, if you don't think he's the GOAT, I really don't care. But like all these little stories talking about this don't count. What's the other crazy narratives? LeBron ain't clutch. He's a choker. Like all that crazy stuff. That's just ridiculous. You're just flat out lying now. You're just flat out lying now. You're just flat out lying. He's not a winner, even though he got 4 championships and 4 finals MVPs, but oh my gosh, man. This is funny.
A big asterisk on the bottom, and it's going to say COVID championship.
It's going to have big nothing.
Okay.
And that brings us to letdown number 6. The 2021-22 season, in which the Lakers entered the regular season as overwhelming favorites to win the West. After all, they had assembled a sorta, super team. I mean, sure, we all look back at the LeBron James-Russell Westbrook pairing as a complete mess. But I think people forget just how productive Russ was before joining the Lakers. Russ was coming off a season where he put up 23, 13, and 13 the second half of the year. And he was joining a team that already had 2 top 10 players in LeBron and AD. And not only did they fail to win the West, they didn't even make it to the playoffs. Heck, they didn't even make it to the play-in tournament. Sure, they did deal with some injuries, but even in the games that their star trio all played, they were merely a 500 team. And in the 56 games,
that team wasn't good in general. Come on, if you watched the 2022 Lakers, 2021-2022 Lakers, they was not good at all. Y'all gotta remember, they traded all their depth for Russell Wilson. Not Russell Wilson, Russell Westbrook. I'm tripping. They traded all their depth for Russell Westbrook. I don't think anybody's surprised LeBron and Russell Westbrook did not work. I would say Anthony Davis, but Anthony Davis was hurt that year, so he barely played. So I'm pretty much going to say LeBron and Russell Westbrook. That pairing was not good at all. It wasn't. And the roster wasn't good in general. So think about it. You traded all your depth for Russell Westbrook, and AD get hurt. So just LeBron, Russ, and who was the fourth? And honestly, I mean, if you take AD out, who was the 4th best player on that team? Old Melo? I mean, Melo still can shoot and all that, but come on. Yep, so that 21-22 season, AD only played 40 games. AD missed half the season. LeBron played 56 games. Russell Westbrook played 78. Shout out to Russell Westbrook for being healthy. Stat-wise, LeBron averaged 30 that year. I mean, AD was averaging 23, but like I said, he played half the year, so I'm not even going to consider his stats. Russ averaged 19. Honestly, Russ' stats is not bad. It just still wasn't a good fit, and the roster wasn't great either. Oh, don't get me wrong. The fourth best player was Malik Monk, not Melo. Melo was the fifth best player on the team. You had Stanley Johnson, Taylor Horton Tucker. I mean, they wasn't bad players. The roster wasn't that good. The roster in general was just not that good. I'm not even going to call 2022 a letdown. The team wasn't good at all. Like, the team wasn't good in general. That team wasn't good. That team wasn't good.
That their star trio all played, they were merely a 500 team. And in the 56 games that LeBron played, they were 5 games under 500. And I find it silly to use injuries as an excuse, considering that there were a number of teams in the conference that had even worse injury issues and fared just fine. The Nuggets were without Jamal Murray the entire season and won 15 more games than the Lakers. The Clippers were without Kawhi Leonard the entire season and won 9 more games than the Lakers.
As I explained with the Lakers, AD missed half the year. LeBron only played 56 games. The Nuggets had Jokic and Aaron Gordon still, and they still had good role players, Will Barton, Monte Morris. Looking at the Nuggets roster, Jokic played 74 games. Will Barton played 71 games. Aaron Gordon played 75 games. Monte Morris played 75 games. You had your players there, and they were healthy. And you telling me you expect the Lakers to be good with AD being out half the season, LeBron being out third the season, and you traded your whole roster for Russell Westbrook. You actually expected the Lakers to be good. Come on, man. Come on, man. And the Clippers, they were all right. I mean, they went 42-40. I mean, they pretty much was just one game over 500. They was all right. But the Nuggets, come on. The Nuggets actually had good players on the team. And Jokic was hoping out his mind that year.
Clippers were without Kawhi Leonard the entire season and won 9 more games than the Lakers. The Pelicans were without Zion the whole year, and without their top scorer, C.J. McCollum, for 2/3 of the season, and even they finished with a better record than the Lakers. Heck, the Spurs played the entire season with a roster of a bunch of cast-offs from the local YMCA, and even they won more games than the Lakers. The bottom line is that, with all their talent and all their expectations, the fact that the Lakers failed to even reach the 10 seed is one of the biggest failures in modern NBA history.
Just an absolute, unacceptable, unforgivable screw-up of a year.
And that finally brings us to letdown number 7.
This is the thing about the Lakers when they traded for Russell Westbrook. That was a big risk. Because if it worked, it was going to go very well. But if it didn't work, it was going to go very bad. And it was clear as day it didn't work, and it went very bad very quickly. It went very bad very quickly. Yeah, I'm not going to consider that a letdown. I'm not going to consider that a letdown. So far in this video, I'm still considering 2011 as LeBron only letdown. I'm still only considering that.
Screw up of a year.
And that finally brings us to letdown number 7. And there's really not much else to say about this one. The pundits were over the moon about the LeBron-Luka pairing.
I said yesterday I think the Lakers are winning the West, and I feel good about that.
Oh, Lakers are winning the title, my friend.
Needless to say, the expectations were through the roof. But the results were in the basement, as the Lakers' playoff run lasted a mere 5 games. LeBron's response to the loss?
You know, I don't lose sleep over that. Like, how did me and Luka lose?
Right,
like,
no.
Well, yeah. Well, there's 8 other guys on the floor.
What?
There's 8 other guys on the floor.
Sure. LeBron and Luka closed each contest worse than a white guy running track. But let's blame the loss on the 8 role players. I mean, you'd expect a smidge more accountability from a guy whose team embarrassingly got knocked out in the first round. I know. LeBron fans will tell me.
But Michael Jordan lost in the first round 3 times.
You're right.
Okay, number one, I'm a LeBron fan. And yes, Michael Jordan did lose in the first round 3 times. But nobody in their right mind is blaming Michael Jordan for them losses. The brother was averaging pretty much 40 every time he lost. Like, okay, I never understood about that about people in general. Not even LeBron, Michael Jordan. I'm just talking about just superstars in general. Why every time a superstar loses the series, and they were hoping that series, why is they the first one to blame? No one's blaming Michael Jordan for him getting swept in the first round 3 times. That brother was hoping every series he was in. And LeBron, he wasn't blaming the role players. Are y'all serious? LeBron never throw his teammates under the bus. He's not even that type of dude. Like, What? The Minnesota Timberwolves was a better team. That Timberwolves team made the Western Conference Finals. Like, it was like they were scrubs. The Lakers was the 3rd seed. Minnesota was the 6th seed. I think they were separated by 1 game. They were separated by 1 game. Yeah, but come on. He talking about LeBron fans talking about Michael Jordan got swept 3 times. Nobody in their right mind is blaming Michael Jordan for getting swept 3 times in the first round. He was hooping them series. And you can tell clear as day in them series, if you look at the roster, who was on the team, Michael Jordan was at a disadvantage with the team. Come on. It literally was just him. His brother was going against Larry Bird Celtics in their prime. He was losing. he was losing.
LeBron fans will tell me,
But Michael Jordan lost in the first round 3 times.
you're right. But there's a massive difference between losing in the first round as a 10-1 underdog with Charles Oakley as your second best player versus losing in the first round as a 2-1 favorite with Luka Doncic as your co-star. It's all about expectations. And objectively speaking, LeBron's teams fell woefully short of expectations in each of these 7 seasons. Now, you might think I'm being a little hard on LeBron, but keep in mind that I'm using the same logic that his own fans use when defending his poor finals record. When you point out that LeBron is a measly 4-6 in the finals, the response from LeBron fans is always,
That's not fair. Of course LeBron has a losing finals record. He was the underdog in most of those finals.
and you know what? They're right. LeBron should not be crucified for losing to the Spurs in the 2007 finals. Nor should he be criticized for losing to the Kevin Durant-led Warriors in 2017 and 2018. Heck, I'll even give him a pass for getting boat raced by the Spurs in the 2014 finals, in a series that was widely expected to be a toss-up, but which LeBron's Heat lost in historically lopsided fashion. In each of the series I just mentioned, LeBron's team was an underdog, and he was therefore not expected to win. But if we're going to give him a pass for losing as an underdog, then it's only fair that we hold him to account for losing as a huge favorite, or for missing the playoffs in seasons where he had no business missing the playoffs. And these disappointing finishes have happened in 7 of his 22 seasons, 1 in every 3 seasons. So the burning question is, how does this affect his legacy? And on a macro level, the answer is not very much. Despite all the season-ending letdowns, he is still arguably one of the greatest players to ever play the game.
LeBron, in my opinion, is the GOAT. The lowest LeBron all time as a basketball player is number 2. The only person I would consider being better than LeBron is Michael Jordan. Everybody else he's better than. But Michael Jordan I would consider because Michael Jordan was an absolute dog. Michael Jordan was GOAT. Like, come on. LeBron, my guy. But come on, I'm not going to sit here and act dumb. Michael Jordan was that dude. Michael Jordan was GOAT.
All the season-ending letdowns, he is still arguably one of the greatest players to ever play the game. But when we talk about LeBron's legacy, what we're really asking is, how does he stack up against Michael Jordan? And that's where he falls short. I don't mean that he falls short in the sense that Michael has better advanced stats and more individual accolades and is a more consistent defender and a superior shooter in the clutch and has fewer weaknesses and has more championships despite playing less seasons. I mean, sure, there's all that. But specifically in terms of major letdowns, Michael just didn't have them. In his entire 15-year career, only 1 time did a Michael Jordan-led team finish below expectations. And that was in 1995, the year Jordan returned from his first retirement, when his Bulls lost in the second round of the playoffs to the Orlando Magic.
But what about those first-round exits early in Jordan's career?
As we previously mentioned,
I'm not wrong. I think when that happened, I think that was the same year he came back playing basketball. Like, I don't even put that against Michael Jordan for real. He came back that same year. Don't get me wrong, he had some great games, but come on, like, that brother didn't even play a full season. Michael Jordan lost who he's supposed to lose to, and he beat who he's supposed to beat, really. LeBron, I would always say his only letdown was 2011. Miami most definitely should have beat the Dallas Mavericks that year. Yeah, LeBron played bad, for sure. It's so funny, though. People talk about Jason Terry outplaying LeBron. Don't get me wrong, LeBron wasn't great to his standards, but it's so funny looking at Jason Terry and LeBron's stats that series. It pretty much was identical, though. It's actually hilarious because people keep saying Jason Terry like, oh my God, he really outplayed LeBron, but their stats was pretty much identical. Don't get me wrong, that is bad. LeBron, how great he has had identical stats to Jason Terry. But it's just funny how people say Jason Terry like really outplayed LeBron. But with Michael Jordan and LeBron, they really didn't have letdowns for real. I mean, the guy, he said LeBron had like 7 letdowns. I don't think LeBron has 7 letdowns. 2011, that was just bad. But all the other ones, you have legit reasons why those situations happen. Him losing them series and the team's missing the playoffs. You have legit reasons. 2011 was really LeBron's only letdown for real.
Magic.
But what about those first-round exits early in Jordan's career?
As we previously mentioned, Jordan was a massive underdog each time he lost in the first round.
What about all those years he lost to the bad boy Pistons?
Similarly, Jordan was a substantial underdog each of the 3 years the Pistons knocked him out.
What about when Jordan missed the playoffs with the Wizards?
In both years that Jordan was with the Wizards, Vegas picked them to finish 9th in their conference. And in both years, that's exactly where they finished. No, the only true letdown of Jordan's career was losing to the Magic in the '95 playoffs in a series the Bulls were favored to win. Although in retrospect, one could question whether the Bulls should have been favored. After all, the Magic had the best duo in the league in Shaq and Penny, and they also had home court advantage at a place where they only lost 2 games all year. And, as we all know, Jordan only played the final 5th of the season. But as you've probably figured out by now, I'm not a fan of making excuses. The bottom line is that the Bulls were favored to beat the Magic in '95, and they did lose. And a big reason for that loss was that in critical moments of the series, Jordan was not the best version of himself. And that remains the sole letdown of Jordan's entire career. And a pretty mild letdown at that, especially when compared to the 7 letdowns in LeBron's career. Remember, the least catastrophic of LeBron's letdowns was his 2009 loss to the Orlando Magic. And even that loss was worse than Jordan's loss in '95. For one, LeBron's team was a much bigger favorite. Secondly, the Orlando team that LeBron faced was far inferior to the Orlando team that Jordan faced. And thirdly, LeBron had home court advantage in his series, whereas Jordan did not. Come to think of it, do you want to know how many times Michael Jordan lost a playoff series with home court advantage? 0. Zilch. Nada. He was a perfect 24-0. Compare that to LeBron, who has lost a series with home court advantage 4 different times. So let's review the tale of the tape, shall we? 5 times LeBron has lost a playoff series that his team was favored to win. Something that happened to Jordan only once. 4 times LeBron lost a playoff series with home court advantage. Something that Jordan never did. 5 times LeBron's team has been ahead in a series only to ultimately lose. Something Jordan did only 1 time, and that was as a 6-1 underdog. And twice, LeBron missed the playoffs entirely in a year where his team was among the preseason favorites to win the title.
Assumed contender is hilarious.
Entirely in a year where his team was among the preseason favorites to win the title. Jordan, meanwhile, never missed the playoffs while playing with an actual contender. And these numbers all speak to one very important thing: dependability. Look, no one is going to win the championship every single year. Jordan had 9 seasons that he didn't win a title, and LeBron has had 18 seasons where he didn't win a title. But importantly, do you at least make the playoffs when you're supposed to make the playoffs? And when you get to the playoffs, do you at least beat the teams you're supposed to beat? For one of these guys, the answer is clearly yes. For the other guy, the answer is usually, maybe, sometimes. And frankly, this is an underrated.
What? Usually, frankly, sometimes, yes, LeBron beat the teams he usually beat in the playoffs. Or supposed to be the playoffs. Y'all, come on. Like I said earlier, if you think Michael Jordan the GOAT, that's one thing. But don't act like it's some gap. I think LeBron better than Michael Jordan, but I think the gap is like this. Even if you think MJ better than LeBron, the gap is here. People act like MJ better than LeBron is this gap. No, it's not. They act like it's a gap like this. No, it's not. They're close. They're close. Even though I think LeBron the GOAT, I think he's this much better than MJ. As a basketball player, he's this much better than MJ. I always say LeBron is the greatest all-around player ever. And that's why I say LeBron is the greatest basketball player ever. Of course, he got the accolades and everything. This man, he could score, rebound, pass, play defense. Could guard pretty much all the positions. One of the most versatile players ever. You can play LeBron as small forward, power forward, point guard. LeBron is the greatest all-around player ever.
Maybe, sometimes. And frankly, this is an underrated aspect of the GOAT conversation. Everyone wants to focus on championships. I get it. Michael has 6 championships compared to LeBron's 4, which is even more impressive when you consider that Michael has played 7 fewer seasons. But what's even more remarkable is that he was able to attain all those championships without a major misstep. I mean, sure, he took his lumps along the way and had to overcome hurdles like the bad boy Pistons. But he never had any moments that left us scratching our heads thinking,
How in the world did he lose to that team?
And when I look at this graphic, it tells me two critical things. First, when it mattered the most, Jordan was the more likely player to deliver the goods. And second, when it mattered the most, he was also the far less likely player to shit the bed. And in the results-based world of sports, nothing could be more important. Now, is that the only reason Michael Jordan is a superior player to LeBron James? No. There are at least a dozen other reasons, some of which I mentioned in a video I made 5 years ago, titled Jordan vs. LeBron, the best GOAT comparison, a video that has generated nearly 5 million views. But who's counting? But while the talking heads debate...
I reacted to that video too. I'm going to put the link in the description below. That video was funny. That video was funny. It was kind of like this one. This video was hilarious. Even though he think MJ better than LeBron, this video still was funny though.
Video that has generated nearly 5 million views. But who's counting? But while the talking heads debate this topic ad nauseum, there's not a lot of focus on letdowns. So I figured it deserved its own video. And there's one other reason why I think these season-ending disappointments are so important to the GOAT conversation. It's because they can't be erased. They cannot be wiped from our memory. These failures are forever stains on a person's resume. And that doesn't just apply to basketball. As anyone who works for a living can tell you, you could be great at 95% of your job. But if you fuck up a major project, your boss will always remember it. Now imagine if you fucked up 7 major projects. Or you fucked up a project every 3 years. You think you'd still have a job? You certainly wouldn't be winning any awards for greatest employee of all time. Not when the guy you're competing against is just as good as you, but without the screw-ups. Now I'm fairly confident that after watching this video, there will be a handful of people in the comments section who will say,
"You're being ridiculous. You're criticizing a 40-year-old LeBron for losing in the first round. But when Jordan was 40, he didn't even make the playoffs."
And if you are saying that, well, you clearly missed the point of the entire video. So I recommend you watch it again. As for the rest of you, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel, and click the bell to get notified of new videos. But to address your point, yes, Jordan missed the playoffs when he was 40. But as previously noted, he wasn't expected to make the playoffs. And if you look at his team's roster, it's not hard to see why. By far, his best teammate was a one-dimensional, inefficient Jerry Stackhouse. And as to the other guys pictured here, most NBA fans wouldn't be able to pick them out of a lineup.
Let me see, do I know these guys? Okay, like he said, that's Jerry Stackhouse. That's Larry Hughes. That's Christian Laettner. That's Kwame Brown. I also think that's why LeBron better than Michael Jordan too, in terms of that. Like, in terms of standards and expectations, people want so much, in my opinion, people wanted so much more out of LeBron than for Michael Jordan. That's just me. That's me. Now, to be fair, I won't criticize Michael Jordan for missing the playoffs at 40 with this roster. But this is something, though. If LeBron was on this team with Jerry Stackhouse, Larry Hughes, Christian Laettner, Kwame Brown, they missed the playoffs, they're on LeBron head. They will be on LeBron head if LeBron missed the playoffs with these other 4 players. See, Michael Jordan, he was 40. Of course, Michael Jordan wasn't going to be his prime, but the Wizards wasn't a good team. They wasn't going to make the playoffs. Even with LeBron, if he was 40 with this team, you shouldn't have that much expectations. But the expectations and standards that people give LeBron is so much higher than Michael Jordan's. People will be on LeBron head if LeBron did not go to the playoffs with this team right here. With Jerry Stackhouse, Larry Hughes, Christian Laettner, and Kwame Brown. They will be on LeBron head. I promise you they will. I promise you they will.
Now imagine, instead of Jerry Stackhouse, Jordan was paired with a prime Luka Doncic. Would we still be questioning whether this team makes the playoffs? And what if instead of 13-point scorer Larry Hughes, they had 20-point scorer Austin Reeves? And instead of a past his prime Christian Laettner, they had a young Rui Hachimura? And instead of all-time bust Kwame Brown, they had the versatile Dorian Finney-Smith? Now, we're no longer asking whether that team makes the playoffs. We're asking how deep a playoff run they make. And somehow, this exact team, except with LeBron James as their leader, got knocked out of the first round by an opponent nearly everyone expected them to beat.
You can call LeBron the leader of the team, but he wasn't the best player on the team. The best player on the team was Luka, but Luka wasn't the problem when they lost that series either. It wasn't LeBron or Luka fought for real. That was a bad matchup. Every time Minnesota got past their guy, it was an easy layup or a dunk. This is not a great defensive lineup either. You're going against the Minnesota Timberwolves who have Jaden McDaniels, who's probably, 6'8", 6'9", probably 6'10". Jaden McDaniels tall. Julius Randle and Rudy Gobert, they're some big brothers. With no center. And them dudes defend. Now, backcourt-wise, Austin Reeves and Luka can keep up with Mike Conley and Anthony Edwards. But the thing is, Mike Conley and Anthony Edwards defend. These two brothers don't. Now, I'm not blaming them for losing the series because they can't defend, but Austin Reeves and Luka are mostly offensive players. So since you don't have no big man, you're asking them to even be more locked in on defense, but they're not even defenders. You're asking too much for them. But this is so funny though. For the Lakers, LeBron was actually the best defender that series. That's the funny part about that. LeBron was actually the best defender on the team that series. He was 40. And that's actually sad. The 40-year-old, the best defender on your team, yeah, you're going to lose the series. You're going to lose the series. And the thing is, you traded for Luka mid-season. And me personally, I just didn't think that was even realistic at all. You traded for a superstar mid-season. The team, you didn't even fit the team for the superstar yet. Like you don't even have time to even do a roster construction to fit Luka, Reeves, and LeBron. But I'm not shocked they lost to Minnesota though. Your roster weaknesses show up in the playoffs. They're going to show. That definitely wasn't a letdown.
Got knocked out of the first round by an opponent nearly everyone expected them to beat. And this type of thing has happened over and over and over in LeBron's career. And there is one word that best describes that.
Shout out to Danger Productions for that video. I disagree with a lot he said this video. To be honest, LeBron only let down, in my opinion, was 2011. That was his only letdown for real. But 7 letdowns, absolutely not. LeBron did not have no 7 letdowns. I also reacted to the other video Dangerous Productions put up, like with the LeBron versus Jordan, the best GOAT comparison. I reacted to that video too. I'm gonna put that video in the comments below. So drop down in the comments below your thoughts about this video, your thoughts about LeBron, Michael Jordan. Who you think is better? Is LeBron your favorite player? Is Michael Jordan your favorite player? Do you like both of them? Yeah, just drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm just curious to see what everyone think. Furthermore, like and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you won't miss another video from me. And I hope everyone have a blessed day. I'm out.